like to share a story that happened to me very spontaneously many years ago, but this story has established a very important place in my heart and in my mind also. So I would like to tell this story of the Avatar. And this story happened to me when I had been going through this period in my life where I was spending a lot time just by myself, meditating, observing, diving deep into the depths of my own self, and just being open to find whatever I would find. And it would go in such a way that because I did practice this very spontaneous way of meditation, meaning that I didn't have a certain kind of practice that I would have learned from any outer source, but or I wasn't doing any visualization or anything like that, but I would sit down by the intention to meditate, and then I would be just open to receive whatever would come or open up at that very moment. And I would always feel when it's time to sit down and to receive something new. So at that time I felt that now something is coming. Something is about to happen. So I sat down and I closed my eyes and I started to receive this very clear and vivid story where I was kind of just an observer as myself. I was in that story as myself and I was observing. So in the story, at first, so me sitting in the sofa, and I'm focusing my awareness into my heart, will close my eyes and I started receiving. So at first I saw a little cottage. I was actually inside a little cottage, cute little wooden cozy place, and inside of that cottage there is this huge table, a round table, and around this table all my emotions are sitting. Yes, you heard me right. My emotions are sitting around the table and they're having tea. And they are chatting with each other, and the overall atmosphere is actually quite good. Very good atmosphere. No one is no one isn't trying to rush on top of another, or there are not any arguments. There is just this very nice tea party atmosphere. And I am in this party observing all this, and it made me feel very happy witnessing my emotions sitting so well mannered in that table, just in harmony. There is joy, enthusiasm, there is anger, there is sorrow, there is anxiety even, and they're just all there, and no one is not making any extra number of themselves or anything. They're just there, they're having the tea, and I'm just I'm just witnessing all this, and I'm actually feeling very, I'm feeling grateful. Gratefulness must have been there too. And then, so there is this acceptance going on, and then all of a sudden the atmosphere changes as a very, very heavy knocking from the door. Clock, clock, clock. Interrupts everything. A very heavy knocking, slow and heavy knocking from the door. And everyone stops and drops their teas and jaws, and silence is taking over the place, and we're all wondering what might be happening there. What is happening? And then someone invents it. Oh my God, death is at the door. It's death at the door. And everyone's like looking at each other, trying to find comfort from somewhere. And then someone says, let's not open. And I can hear this speechless whisper, like, the atmosphere was so good, let's just not ruin it now. And at that point, I, who have just been witnessing all this from the background of this cottage, of this space, I am demanding, yes, of course we open the door for death. And as they are my emotions, and they obey my demand, my command, someone from the table stands up and goes into the door. And it must be curiosity that opens the door. And everyone is just looking into the direction of the door and following as the door opens. And what is behind the door is a great surprise for all of us. Behind the door is standing a creature with a dark hood and a cape on his shoulders. And it actually doesn't seem deadly or anything like that. Just so tired, or like finished. So it doesn't seem like a threat for us. And the creature takes off his hood and reveals his face. And the creature that is being revealed is not a he or she specifically. It seems like being like androgynous somewhat, and there is this creature with a bald head, no hair, with a bright blue skin and big eyes, very humane, kind face. but very sad. He looked like he was very sad. And on top of that, there was this black stuff crawling on his skin, like peeling like a glue all over him, this black stuff. He was covered by it. And it was just pouring like to the floor and all over the place. And the creature looked like it had been through some like rough waters, and like not just waters, I didn't know at that time like what the heck it had gone through, but it looked so serious. He looked like so sad, so beaten, so just lost and like punished or something. And then we all look at him with great compassion, and we feel so bad by not welcoming it in the first place. I mean, all the emotions were invited except death. Why death wasn't there in the first place? Why were we so afraid of it? So the mysterious appearance of death had come in, and we were anticipating to hear its story, because definitely its appearance was so much different than what we have expected. And in silence, I can hear that the death is saying that I am the avatar. I am the avatar. I am the avatar. And I am like, holy moly, like, of course you are the avatar. Of course you are the avatar. Because there is no such thing as death. And what is the revelation, the wisdom that the avatar is bringing in, is that the avatar is the embodiment of higher intelligence. And when we bypass and ignore the higher intelligence within us, and we start to conform in the earthly laws, that's when the world will start to feel like a freaking burden. It will start to feel like a sad place to be, because it believes in sad boundaries and in sad endings and in unnecessary pain accepted as that's just the way it is. And we forget that there is so much more to reality. There is so much more than that. And our disbelief is that which actually hurts the avatar. Yeah. And I almost started speaking Finnish, but the most funny and the most respected thing ever was that the avatar is not angry at all, because the avatar is a highly compassionate being. at this point we invite the avatar in, and we are very much willing to listen everything that it has to say, everything that it has to offer, and we are ready to remember what we have forgotten. And of course this is a very appropriate moment for the avatar to arrive. I have accepted all my emotions as they are, and that is the very point where the avatar can come in. Because the higher intelligence knows that behind every emotion there is a higher wisdom available always and forever, if we are willing to look at those emotions in such a way that they can reveal their jewel to us. If we are letting the emotions to drive us, or we are unable to handle and understand and listen to our emotions in a very balanced way, that's when we lose sight, and we don't gain the incredible growth and wisdom that is offered to us through our emotional life. That's why we are sentient beings. That's why we are sensing beings, so that we would listen to our emotions and what they tell us. So the avatar is the higher being that has come to offer its salvation by revealing that there is no such thing as death. There is only transformation, and the true death, what actually makes things dead, is our own resistance, our own stagnation, that is preventing us from flowing, that is not allowing us to flow. Because life is a constant movement, a constant flow, and if we don't allow that, then we are stuck. Then we are stuck. Then we are dead. So, the avatar is coming in to remind that there is no such thing as death. There is only transformation. And the calling is to listen, where we can transform ourselves, from where we can grow. What is it that we can understand so that we can grow as human beings? Who has their very own avatar, the version of ourselves, the higher self, who always and forever has our back and is willing to help us, to guide us, and to offer us higher understanding of any given situation, moment, emotional blockage, anything. The avatar has got all the answer in their humble pockets, because it is a very humble being. It is humble and it is very compassionate. Like I said, we had been assaulting this being by our own ignorance, and it's not angry. It can never be angry. It's just very happy that it's finally accepted, because the disbelief is killing it. The disbelief is killing it. When we stop believing, to the fairy tale of the Most High. The Avatar. Is suffering because the Avatar is made out of the fairy tale, out of the truth, the miraculous truth of the Most High. And the Avatar is forever willing to come to us, to care for us, and to offer us its light that will make our lives much easier, much happier, much graceful, grateful, godly. The Avatar brings such grace, such relief, such salvation. The emotions of the human plane need higher understanding, because otherwise they just run around and make us feel the discomfort of this planet, because there's a lot going on. Unless someone has not noticed yet. That's why we need the comfort. We need the comforting of the Avatar. That it's not actually that bad. We just need to purify our heart and our mind. We need to renew our sight and our eyes so that we can see through the eyes of the Avatar's spectacular sight, through the spectacular truth of the Avatar, because the Avatar is connected to the divine, to the realm of the divine. To our true home. Our true home. Our heavenly celestial home. And we suffer if we don't believe in it. Here and now. When we don't allow ourselves to live it, to live the divine dream, to live the divine happiness, the divine balance, here and now, it makes us longing for something. But everything happens in the now. The now is the gateway. The now is the gateway to wherever we wish to be and to whatever we are wishing to experience. And the insights that the Avatar is wanting to bring, they can go so much beyond what we would expect by our earthly, conditioned, day-to-day mind. And that's a good thing, because that is requiring us to stay awake all the time and not to take anything for granted. For example, when we feel anger of some sort, we probably have some kind of assumption that okay, I feel angry over this and this, and by the time we know to start actually analyzing our emotions, we have probably learned some degree of our own some degree of our own identity. We have some kind of image of what kind of character this is that I was born to be, right? I'm angry, okay, it must mean this, this, and this. And this is so important that we don't live in the past, even though we can consider the past, and it's good to consider that also, but we are always and forever cultivating our personality. Our soul is an eternal land to explore. There is always something new to discover, always and forever, and it's good to acknowledge this. And this is the awareness that the avatar is bringing about. It is bringing us new perspectives, new intelligence and wisdom over our emotions. And it is very exciting. It is very, very exciting, because the knowledge what the avatar is bringing, it's not something that it feels just like out of the blue. But even though he had a blue skin, blue is the color of the throat chakra. That is the chakra of truth, the chakra of our own truth. So our expression. So the knowledge that the avatar will bring us is representing the deepest truth of us, and that is the essence that makes us feel like we're at home. When we're allowing ourselves to feel the knowledge and the perspective of the avatar, that's the knowledge that makes the most high and perfect sense to us. That's why it's very interesting to remain open to the story of the avatar, because the avatar keeps us tapped into the wonderland of our soul, where the tiniest movements of our emotional seas make perfect sense, and that sense is eternally, incredibly beautiful. It is always and forever beautiful. It is always and forever inviting us deeper and deeper into the divine bliss and to the divine playfulness, and wisdom. The divine nature that we were born to eternally be. And this is the reason why I will never ever lock my door from the avatar. I shall not be afraid of death, since I know that such thing don't exist. There is only change. Eternal life changing its form, and I am willing to bend with it. Forever I want to trust in that flow of life, in the holy wave of life that is animating itself as me. And I'm forever wishing to transform with it, to birth myself again and again and again. And yeah, actually there was something that happened after we had been listening to the truth of the avatar. And a key point in inviting the avatar in was that I actually accepted the avatar, and I no longer tell the avatar that you're nonsense, for example, that there's no such thing as a higher truth, because there is. Actually, the lower truths are those that will eventually become awake in the higher truth, because that's the only one that will remain. Because that's the one that is made of the laws of the divine, the eternal, ineffable wisdom of the divine. So no longer I tell the avatar that I don't believe in it. I will not doubt the avatar. I will say to the avatar that I believe in you 120%. Now, always and forever. Now, always and forever I will believe in you. So a key point is acceptance. I will accept the avatar forever. I will not demonize the avatar. I will not condemn the higher insights, the higher comfort, the higher love, the higher believing, the higher story. I will not doubt it for 1 second. And if I will pray for more character. I will pray for more believing from the avatar, that it will help me to believe more in itself, because I cannot live without it. Not as happily as I am able to live with it. So accepting the avatar head over heels with my whole heart. And as I accepted the avatar, I actually started menstruating. Like really. And I'm gonna be a little bit detailed here, but the blood flow that was coming out of me was just incredibly dense. I mean, the black stuff that I mentioned that the avatar was covered with, I really felt and witnessed that, well, that dark stuff coming out of me through the menstruation. So my body was cleansing myself at that very same moment that this spontaneous story that was very real happened to me. And after that, I really felt that I was being released of all the burdens that I had been taken from the world, to believe that this is me, this is what I have to carry. All those worldly beliefs that are weighing on our shoulders. Because the only belief and the responsibility and the duty we are to feel and to pledge allegiance to is the true calling of our soul, that which comes from God. And that is the only thing that we are to live up to. We are not to carry the world on our shoulders. We are to dwell on this planet light-hearted and to share and to spread and to shine that light, so that everyone can see it. So that everyone can see it. And feel it. And bask in it. And share it. May this be the evangelium of the Avatar. I hope that you ask to connect with yours if you haven't already, or if you have had some while when you last contacted your avatar. I suggest that you do so, because the avatar is always with you. Sometimes you just forget that they're always there. Ask for the avatar to reveal themselves to you. Let them bring all of the happiness into your life. Amen.